What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Cookie DAO today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. I'm making this video, the second video today, because I have some news about Cookie and my position in Cookie. I've recently sold all of my trading position. I'm holding a lot more than what I sold. I'm not letting go of my cookie bag at all. You can't take away my cookie bag. I'm gonna hold that until the end of the cycle. But there's a small trading position in that overall like bag of cookie that I have exited completely. The trading position is out of the markets, and I'm gonna explain why. Hold on real quick. There's some background noise I gotta take care of. I'll be right back. It's looking like I can't take care of that noise. It's just my dryer's going off, and there's like something with the zipper in there just hitting it, but it's being quiet now. But the door's closed and everything. Anyways, I don't know how to make it any more quiet, so we're just gonna try and talk over it, I guess. The reason why I sold is I'm seeing a pattern here that is rather compelling, in my opinion, to suggest that prices will drop at least another like 15% or so from here. I believe, and I'm not entirely positive, these patterns aren't, they're supposed to be like perfect. They're supposed to be really pretty looking, but in my experience seeing them, they're oftentimes very not pretty and oftentimes slanted. It's a head and shoulders pattern. This is a head and shoulders pattern. And the volume is perfect for it. The volume, it dies off. It's beautiful. You've got the left shoulder. You've got the head. You've got the right shoulder here, right? It looks like it's giving you the finger, right? And it is. It's saying, you, man, I'm going down. I'm going downtown. That's what it's saying, right? It's in arrest right now. It's in arrest. It's in consolidation. And when you're under arrest, sometimes you throw the finger up, even if you're gonna be inevitably taken downtown. I don't know. That's my logic there. If this is an inverse head and shoulders pattern, and it is, or not inverse head and shoulders, I'm sorry, a head and shoulders pattern, the way that I would figure out the neckline here, it's a slanted head and shoulders pattern, would be that we take this trend line here, we try and get it nice and neat on the lows here, right? And the breakout point would have been right here, okay? So yes, we're moving up a little bit now, but just because we broke out now doesn't mean we have to move down. And not financial advisor, not a financial advisor. Normally diagonal lines, I don't care. In fact, normally it's when you break below diagonal lines like this, you get this little low area. That's where the best time to buy is, before going higher. I could be wrong. We might not be going lower. And if that's true, I'm glad that I'm holding my safety bag of my long-term bag for Cookie, because it can go up and I'll still be making money even if I'm wrong. But just in case I'm right, I have a trading position that I took out, because if this is a head and shoulders pattern, and I very much believe it to be, and maybe it might be better, because if we're talking about going down, it might be better for this context to measure it. You would take the low of the pattern to the high of the pattern, and you put that measurement at the breakout point, which very literally would be right here. If this is a slanted head and shoulders pattern, I believe it to be. I mean, it looks pretty perfect, honestly. Like it really does. It's pretty damn perfect as far as head and shoulders goes. But it's slanted. It is slanted, and most of them that I interact with, they are slanted. It's very rare that you just get like a straight one, but if you do, they're oftentimes like longer time frames that have those straight ones. Anyways, that would promote a target all the way down just below 14 cents if this measure move is met. Now, like any measure move, like any pattern, measure moves are just ideas. You don't have to stop here. You could go lower. You could go higher. You could see something that's very weak in comparison to what the expectation might be. So let's talk about where the measure move is. First and foremost, this would be at about just below 14 cents. I'll remember that. I'll just put a line right there, just below 14 cents at like 13.9 cents, right? Something like that. This is where your measure move is. Okay, is there anything around here that might constitute as support or potential area for support? Well, look at that. Look at that SHIT right there, guys. We could pull back and find support right at prior resistance here. Beautiful, beautiful endeavor. It makes a whole lot of sense. I think that makes sense to me. What do we do here whenever we pulled back? Do we find support at any prior resistance there? Not really. We actually fell short of finding this prior resistance. So again, the measure move takes you right here to this prior resistance. Could we fall short? Could we find support above it? Absolutely, we could. So it's best to prepare yourself for the possibility of not just seeing prices below 14 cents, but maybe we only get down to about just below 16 cents. You never know. But this pattern in itself tends to be rather reliable, at least in my opinion it does. And I very much believe that we are going to see prices below 14 cents here whenever it's all done. So looking at this beyond just the pattern itself, Looking at the 4-hour RSI, we have bearish divergence. Clear as day, it's bearish divergence. But this move here was enough to confirm that it's just because you have bearish divergence doesn't mean you have to go all the way down here. This move was enough to confirm it, and we can move past it now. But what you did, hold on. There's a car going off. I want to make sure. My daughter might have pressed my car key. Hold on. Nope, it's just my neighbors across the street, which is kind of weird, but and they just turned it off. Okay, good. But beyond just that, we got the bearish divergence on the 4-hour time frame. We found support at the 50. We looked good. We rejected the overbought zone, found support at the 50, but then what'd you do? You rejected the 60. This is not good. And now we're piercing the veil below the 50. It truly does look like we're set up to come down. We've had a lot of fun. It's been a good time, but sometimes you need to take a little bit of a break. And I think that's exactly what we're going to do over the weekend nonetheless. It just makes sense that over the weekend, this is the 4-hour time frame. So the weekend is about, 3 days because we have all of Saturday, all of Sunday, and then over half of Monday. And I've explained this several times why Monday is actually a weekend day. And that's because half of Monday, it's over by the time the stock market actually opens. So we basically have 2.5 days. 2.5 days from now, that's like, on this, that'd be like, what? 15 candles, something like that, 15, 14 candles, right? We could do a lot in 14 candles, 15 candles. We could move down quite a bit and then move up all in that time. I mean, how much would that be right there? Just from this here, from the starting day, 14 candles, 15. I mean, literally, we could with an abruptness move down and then move up all in that time. It can be a very quick and abrupt drop and recovery. It's kind of what I'm expecting. But let's continue beyond just talking here. Looking at the daily time frame. The daily time frame here, we were overbought, you guys. Overbought, looking nice. This isn't a small bit of overbought, but it's not the hottest that we've ever been, right? We're actually being below the 80. That's pretty moderate as far as the overbought zone goes. And what we saw here was a very powerful maneuver indeed, getting overbought, bouncing off the 60 and continuing like this. Unfortunately, right, we didn't press higher afterwards. That was kind of it. It was a nice and impressive move. But here, as we were trying to press higher on this day, 2 days ago now, the 1st of May, most of that was in the form of a wick, right? I wasn't convinced we were topped off here because that doesn't look like a topping candle. Cookie tends to give us wicks at these relative tops every single time. Same thing on the bottom. It tends to being the key word, right? And this just did not look like a top candle to me. But what we have now 2 days ago, and with the fact that we didn't persist and we actually came down yesterday to confirm it, I think that we're looking like we're going to consolidate a little bit, and that's fine. We've done this before, right? Look at this, for example. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but just look at this. Topping candle here, obviously big wicks there. You got overbought on this one. A lot more overbought than you got here, but overbought nonetheless. Came down, found support on the overbought zone, kind of like this here, right? You made your next run up, and then you consolidated. What'd you do? You back tested prior areas of resistance. You saw an overall drop that was essentially from a high to a low, a 37% drop, going down just below 14 cents from the high to the low that I'm talking about. That's about a 30% drop, a little bit over a 30% drop even could happen. Something like that. It's very comparable. It's not even actually quite as big as this. It would just make a lot of sense. You broke out of this range, back test the last area of resistance that you had, which is right about there, and maybe even a little bit below there. Find support and continue to move. You're now in this range, and instead of being in this bottoming range here, this area here, right? Instead of being in that consolidation area, you're now in this consolidation area. You've broken into it, you got deep into it. Now just find support at the same areas that you found support before. That's kind of my assumption of what's going to happen there. We'll probably on the daily time frame come out of the overbought zone, get down at least to the 60 to bounce again, if not all the way down to the 50, and from there we can talk about higher prices, right? I do plan on letting you guys know whenever I buy back in. I will, but just for now, my whole trading bag for Cookie is completely out. I'm just sitting there in cash waiting to get back in. I might put it into some other cryptos that look like they want to move up in the meantime. I might just let it sit in cash, readily available to put into Cookie. That's kind of how I'd rather have it anyway. So I'll let you guys know what happens, what I do with it on x.com, on YouTube, of course. I'm going to post this right here after I make this video, but I got nothing else for you guys. If you want to follow me on x.com, it's at Chris Harris 85. Chris Harris 85. I'll just delete this, and we'll save it as a draft, yeah. Let's see. Where? At Chris Harris 85. That's me down there. But let's go to the profile. That might help. Let's see, at Chris Harris 85. Yeah, that's me. Follow me there, and I will make posts or videos. You know, you can follow me on YouTube too, of course, and I'll let you guys know what I'm doing with myself. But we didn't nail this one perfectly. We had the opportunity to, but every time, man, every time that I made a video, it was looking really promising. Both of these last two pumps, whenever I made my videos in the morning, and you just got no follow through afterwards. We're starting to look good, and we got no follow through, and I think I know why. We got an inverse head and shoulders pattern about us, you guys, and we're breaking out now. We're in the middle of a breakout now. So I got nothing else for you. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Inevitably, Cookie DAO is still on a war path to new all-time highs. That's why I haven't sold the whole bag. That's why 90% of what I hold in Cookie is just sitting still there. But I did sell that trading position because I wanna have some fun, and getting a little bit extra cash is fun. Trading successfully is fun. If we look at this, here's one more thing actually before I ended the video. If we look at this, where you stopped here at a high, look at that. That's the first day that you got listed on Binance, or the first week maybe. Was that not the first day? The first day, that was that high. You literally stopped right there to a T. Stopped right there. Now get this. Here's where it gets a little bit spooky. Let's say spooky or coincidental. Same thing with Coinbase. You stopped right there as well. I think you're going to go down. I think you're going to go down to where you stopped again, but to the downside. So that's what I think is going to happen. Okay, that's all I got for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one.